really trust that we're live.
I know, and there's like the slow part at the beginning where it's like, is it working? Is it not working? Hi guys, how's it going?
Good evening, good luck.
Yeah, good evening. We're already starting. Okay, let's talk about that because I get called out for it all the time. I actually did a speaking engagement last week where I didn't turn my volume off. I said good morning, good life at an event, and it was 3:30 in the afternoon, and it was like the end of the event, and they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "No, it's a thing I like to say." Anyway,
here's the thing.
It was great.
Spoiler alert.
Here's the thing. We say good morning, good life, no matter what time it is. It's a vibe.
It's applicable to multiple times a day.
Exactly.
So I'm going to say good evening, good life.
Okay, fine. Well, speaking of whoever this is,
good evening.
My name is Amy Landino. Thank you so much for being here. This is my YouTube channel. This is my co-author of our brand new book. This is Sarah Mitchell McCain. I'm so excited. So we are hanging out because we launched a book today. How about that? If I would have told you last Tuesday that we were launching a book today, would you have believed me?
And we timed this so perfectly because today is also the first day of spring. So we're springing into a new season.
So literally, I was just thinking that. I was like, how did I not realize we were launching on the first day of spring? And it's actually so beautiful outside too. So I'm very excited about that. I'm trying not to look away, but I see comments and I'm trying not to ignore them. First day of spring. Bianca is about to be 1 year old in a couple weeks.
Roy is 10 months today.
10 months today. So let's unpack this.
Let's go back in time.
Let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here for this live fireside chat. I need my drink, but it's another explanation, so we're going to wait on that. Okay.
Imagine a world.
Imagine a world where I went to my best friend and I was like, okay, I wrote this book, Good Morning, Good Life. And she's like, yes, I know. You made me buy 100 copies. And I was like, yes, that book.
I also edited it.
Yes, right.
Yes, I know. Yes. I edited it. I read it a few times.
You read it so many times. So I was like, I've always wanted a daily reader. I think that we could take this book, and the third pillar that we talk about, or the first or the second, depending on how you look at it, is mindfulness. What if we had a mindfulness book that was meant to be that mindful moment in the morning? And just a page a day reader, because I think it's great for people who don't read a lot and also people who do and they want something really quick. And I was like, you want to write it? And you were like,
thought you were kidding. Step one. Then it was like, yeah. It was an obvious yes. Obvious yes. And then we thought, fast forward to writing it. We thought, what would make this more fun?
Yeah. So basically, we were writing it. We were like, yes, we're going to get this book out. It's going to be great. It's going to come out 2022. Let's do this. And then I got pregnant. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And you were like, wow.
Well, and I was like, I too am pregnant, but I'm not telling you yet because I was very early pregnant. So we're writing a book. We're both pregnant.
She gave me my moment. And then she was like, by the way, I'm also pregnant a couple weeks later.
Yeah. So remember that time you told me you were tired and you weren't feeling well? I too am tired and not feeling well.
Weird.
But let's write this book.
Yes. And so we were writing it. We continued to write it even though we were pregnant. And so we just continued to write it along with the Gatlu team and a great team.
The amazing Gatlu team.
Yes. So much help that went into this book. And we took a lot of our own advice that we wrote in this book to just let the timeline go and get it out when we could. And so now here we are. And I feel like we're being trolled by a couple of DMB fans
I'm seeing that pop up. So you might notice this wall behind me. And I don't want to say it was my inspiration while writing the book. We are in my home.
But how could it not?
But how could Dave Matthews not be a big piece of this book? He is not in the acknowledgments. So we thought we would bring him into our live stream.
Oh my God. So anyway, Kevin is making fun of his own decor. Thank you so much, Mr. McCain, for letting us use your basement for this chat. Okay, so that's kind of how this book came to be. And then we just got it to the finish line and suddenly it was like, oh, the book is ready.
It's here.
Are you ready? Because the book is ready.
It's here. The book is here.
And here it is.
It's got pages. It's got many, many pages.
There's so many pages.
And spoiler alert, it is 366 days.
Yes.
Because we know there's a thing called
and
leap year.
we lied.
So the first thing we want to admit in this live stream is we lied. The title is wrong. It is not 365 days. It is 366 days.
Because we didn't want to leave you hanging during a leap year. You know, that would have been really disappointing if you needed that moment that day. When is the next one?
Wow, that's a pop quiz. I don't have any else to do. I will take a leap of faith.
Somebody put that in the comments. I think we had a leap year last year. So I think we did.
It would be 6 more years. So I'm going to go with there's a leap year.
Thank you, Julie.
What'd she say?
Julie said next year is leap year.
Oh, I thought it was last year.
I was like,
Julie, I trust you.
What? Was it last year? Anyway, we're going to trust Julie because Julie checks and balances, and I love her, and I appreciate her. She's been a great member of my community. She's a former client. Love Julie. So, appreciate that.
But here's the thing. Every year can be a leap year when you buy this book because every year will have 366 days. So, you have a bonus day every year when you read this book.
So, if you don't like February 28th for some reason, just pick another one. Just there, you got it.
February 29th is yours whenever you want it. That is what you get with this book. Order today.
There are so many people in the chat. Can you guys just say where you're watching from? I'd really appreciate it. I've never been live. I was telling Sarah, I've never been live. I don't think this late in the evening on this channel. So
does that mean our next book is Good Evening, Good Life?
We just stop trying to make Good Evening, Good Life happen. Okay. Sidebar, really quick.
Yeah.
I found out not too long ago, I can also hear myself talking upstairs because the men are so
Our very supportive husbands are watching upstairs. Shout out to both of you. We love you.
They're hard of hearing, so they have it up really high.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this. I think it was on a late show. I don't remember which late show, but Tom Hanks came out with his new favorite drink. New, could have been a long time. And he called it cocaine. Now, we're not doing drugs on this channel. I would never advocate for that.
Where is this evening going?
I'm going to tell you. So basically, he would take champagne and Coca-Cola.
So far, I'm not
and
sold.
Make a drink. Okay? And I was really furious when I found this out because I was like, Tom Hanks, why do you have to continue to be the gift that keeps on giving? I have an old addiction to Coca-Cola.
Didn't know where this was going. Safe space.
And I really love champagne. But if you know me, I love something more than champagne. I love Prosecco. So, and I also, now I like Diet Pepsi. So I was thinking, instead of cocaine, which I'm not a proponent of in any way,
would take a turn.
I really think that would be a huge waste of Veuve Clicquot, which is what he did on the show. He'd put Veuve with Coke. I think it's a waste of a Veuve bottle.
Okay.
But instead, if we did Prosecco with Diet Pepsi, you get
Prosepsi.
Pepsecco.
I was with you.
Which is absolutely not to be confused with a drug. So I like that better. And I'm going to make you try it, even though you won't like it. But I'm going to make you because I think it's fantastic. But also, you're able to drink, right? You're old enough to drink, and you're going to drink this at your own volition.
Yes, okay. I consent. Okay. I think we got to workshop the name a little bit on this drink.
No, it's a good name. How are you rejecting the name? I thought about it.
Mostly I'm rejecting Diet Pepsi.
Oh, why? What are you a fan of?
I'm not a Pepsi product gal.
Okay, you're a Coke
I'm
person.
with Tom on the cocaine
You're with Tom.
side.
Do you have Diet Coke here or not?
I'm good because
I'm
brought to you by Jameson.
Okay, great.
And so my drink consists of an ice cube and Jameson.
I think you're going to be surprised. Here's the thing. The bubbles really complement each other.
Here's the other thing.
Okay.
With Jameson, it's one ingredient. And it is called Jameson.
You do like your recipes to be very simple.
Very simple. I'm going to wait to take my first sip until you are ready.
You're not going to try it?
I will try a sip.
Thank you. My gosh, I thought we were best friends. Like,
we even leveled up.
Well, you know what? It's a habit I had to quit for a long time. Really, but now I've picked it back up because of this. So, just a little bit. Just a little bit so you can taste it.
Again, I would just like to note the difference in the amount of time our drink preparation takes. One.
It's a ritual. Maybe you should read about it.
Maybe I should write a book about it.
Maybe you should. You know, you enjoy the simple things in life. Like,
give me a big pour. I said I would try it.
Well,
you think this is going to be my new favorite thing.
Trying to decide which one's mine, actually.
I think that one is yours.
No, look, there's just a lot of bubbles. You're getting confused.
Please raise your hand if you have tried this drink. Or
yeah,
if
have
you're
you guys
making it
tried
at home.
the Tom Hanks drink? Also, do not drink unless you are of age. Do not drive after you've had anything to drink.
Is Tom Hanks on the live stream? Tom,
if we could get Dave Matthews and Tom on the stream, it would be really helpful, I feel like, for the cause.
Oh, they've ordered copies.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you so much. Julie said Daily Weird Drink is our next book.
Ooh.
I don't know. I like to have a regular weird drink, not a different one every day.
I am so on the fence about this.
Okay, but because we just launched a book, you're going to be my friend and try it, and at least pretend like you're going to give me an objective opinion. Sniff it.
Oh gosh, that does not smell good.
Okay, that was pretty objective. Okay. Okay. Cheers. Okay, but can you see, like, because the Prosecco's sweet?
You know what this reminds me of?
No.
When I was a kid, I would just mix things from my parents' fridge together. That's what this reminds me of.
Excellent. Awesome.
And then I grew up.
Listen, you just don't have a good appreciation for Tom Hanks. I'm sorry.
Yes, I don't like the finer things in life. Prosecco, whatever he called it.
It's Pepsi, not Prepsi. Pepsecco.
Pepsecco.
It's better than cocaine.
Pepsec, no.
No, yeah. You always do the no to me. I don't like it. What don't you like about it, though?
Everything.
Okay. Fine. We'll move on from that. I just thought it'd be a fun experiment. That's fine. Okay.
But listen, that's a theme in the book. It can all tie back. We talk about trying things.
Go on.
You gotta try things in life.
Tie it together.
I'm gonna frown this. And then just lean into what you want to do. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
Perfect. Okay, good. All right. Well, let's just take a moment to thank the lovely people who have taken time out of their lives to watch.
I'm just imagining them all drinking these.
Maybe that's the upside to going live this late. Also, I keep looking over here. My camera's over there. I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm usually pretty good at that. Autumn said you tried.
I tried.
Yeah, you did. We witnessed that tonight. If nothing else, we witnessed that. Thank you, Caitlin. Happy lunch. Happy lunch. Andrea from, Santiago de
I'm a big fan of you too, Vin.
We've already got questions. I love it. I'm sorry. I want to say where people are from real quick. Rosa. Hi, Rosa. I like that name now. It's my daughter's middle name. Is in Vegas. Everyone's just like, oh, Charlene, there's nothing wrong with just Prosecco. I was just trying to try something new. I was trying to make it more interesting. That's all. Abina's in Ghana. I know I said your name wrong. I apologize. The Amber Life is in Southern California. Dector is in the Philly area.
Is anyone in Ohio?
Usually no. Actually, fun fact about my channel, not a lot of Ohioans follow this. Oh, except for Kayla. Kayla's in Northeast Ohio.
There we go.
Nick is in Hollywood, Florida. Hi, Meg. Remember my older sister, Meg?
Do I remember
She's not old. She's a former assistant. I should say she's a...
Meg.
I know. Meg is in Virginia. Meg's in Virginia. Maya's in Texas. Julie in Mesa. Good to see you. Seth, hi, in Philly. I see so many names I know. That's why I'm waving like I'm teaching Bianca how to wave right now. Hi, guys.
Roy just mastered the wave. It's quite
He's
groundbreaking.
So advanced.
Yeah.
It took us a minute.
Yeah.
It took us a minute. Okay. Focus on me.
Questions.
Find time. Okay. I just want to make sure I don't like missing any questions. People always ask early in the beginning. Was Sarah in your pregnancy announcement video? I think I remember. Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
Do you remember how?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. Literally. You came to this house. We were not in this basement, but yes, you came over because, fun fact, Amy is the godmother to my daughter, Grace, who is now 3. And Amy came over to the house with Vin, and you guys had a gift for Grace. And Grace opened the gift, and on the shirt it said, new best friend, or...
It said, I don't need any more friends.
Oh, and then on the back it said, coming 2022.
It said, the front said...
21. Yeah.
No, 2022. It said, I don't need any more friends. And the back said, my new best friend will be here spring 2022.
Yep.
It took a lot of ironing to make that happen.
So our candid reaction is on that video, and little did they know, I think we had just found out like 2 days before that we were pregnant. So.
Yeah. You could tell now that I watched that video back.
That in my brain,
you were
I'm
like, oh my God.
So many best friends are coming.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So we've got a question from Charlene. I found it. I saw it earlier and I didn't want to miss it. I need this book, but how do I freaking get out of bed in the morning to do it? This is my dilemma. So this is always like the question that people ask when they're thinking about a morning routine. There's like that aspirational thing that you want, and then the friction shows up immediately between you and that end result. And it's usually a memory of something about yourself. And that memory is, I don't like to get out of bed. I hit the snooze on my alarm. I don't like that. Like that version of me is the only version of me that I know. And I know I'm just going to keep hitting the snooze. But it's about kind of overcoming what your past is and getting to the point where you're like, I can get up. I can be that person. But there are logistics, okay? And I think sleeping next to your alarm is a big mistake that a lot of people make with getting out of bed.
And I think it depends on the person. Because I was also going to say, to your point, you can also read this book in bed. It could be the start to your day. You don't have to.
Subtle nighttime design vibe for a reason, if you didn't notice.
You can ease out of bed in the morning. Also, I think the nice thing about the morning routine, and we hit on this a little bit too, is it doesn't necessarily need to start right at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You can get up, go through your basics, do whatever you have to do, and then you might start your routine at noon. Like, it might start later in the day.
Yeah,
it can be different. Whenever you can. I think if you get hung up on, I've got to get up at 5 a.m., and if I don't have 3 things accomplished by 8 a.m., it's never going to work. And it's creating the world you want.
Yeah. More than that, even, I think it's like, do you have a good enough reason as to why you would get out of bed? And usually, if we're getting up for some external reason, somebody else, we stay in bed for as long as possible. We call it self-care. Now, it is self-care if you're getting ample sleep and that's the way that you want it to be. And I don't think that any morning routine needs to be a certain amount of time. It's just like what is going to make you feel like you got up with your own intention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can change. I think that's the beauty of it too. You can try new things. You can figure out what works. And if it doesn't work, don't force it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, but if you do not get out of bed and it is because of mental health reasons or you actually need real help, there's like that, you need to look into that. And I think people don't realize that if that's a real thing, then do not fight it. You should seek out the help that you need. But if you don't feel like that's the reason, you're like, no, I don't think that's it, then really start to reverse engineer it. It could be very simple if you really listen to what you want rather than how you're reacting to the rest of the world.
Well, I think a good call out with that too is this book isn't just about reflections you can do in the morning. It's about reflections for your entire life. So I think sometimes some of the pieces might stick with you in different ways. And if it does, to Amy's point, if it resonates with you that you should be getting different help or anything like that, absolutely. But not every entry in here is applicable to just the morning.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different advice in the book, actually. 100%. I think everyone's probably going to think that it's like a morning tip for every day. No. We don't want a different tip every morning.
And some days are like, it's better to think about it at the end of your day.
Right.
Some days it's like a good thing in the middle of the day. Some things it might stick with you, and other days you might be like, I'm going to come back to that in a year.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got a question from Finance in Her Eyes.
Ooh, I like that.
This is a good name. Is the audio version available? So for now, paperback and Kindle only. Fun fact, there are probably quite a few people in the room who have heard the audio version, and that is because as we were writing the book, I was also recording the audio version, and I was sharing it in a little group called Shine Squad. Now, Shine Squad is no longer around. We sunset it because we are going to have an audio version at some point, but it is not out yet. We're focusing on the paperback and Kindle for now. But if you were on it last year, paying attention, then some of you have already heard the audio version, which is amazing.
I was in that group.
Like Carlara, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm assuming it's like...
Yeah, you can pick up the book anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, so can you start this book anytime? Yes.
Yes, the book is linked in the description. And I did want to say that there are bonuses as well. So if you think about buying somebody a gift, I feel like not enough people think about this. We struggle to come up with gift ideas for people.
Right.
A book is a really good gift idea, and it should be a gift from the heart. Like, pick a book that means something to you, but part of that is this is a page a day. If somebody isn't really much of a reader, it might be a really good start for them to just have something that's more approachable. But anyway,
or if it's somebody you want to stay connected to, because I feel like a page a day is also good that you can just pulse in with a friend. Like, what did you think of that reflection today?
I love
what did that feel like? Like, if you sometimes. I know I ask a lot of questions.
She
I'm
asks
that
so many
person.
questions.
I am my father's daughter.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to come up, especially with distance and friendships not all being close. Pick up the entry. Ask your friend what their reflection was of the day. Like, just use it as a starting point.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. But anyway, if you do end up buying more than one, there are bonuses. So if you go to gmgl365.com, you'll see the website, look for the bonuses. There's a free bonus for anyone. You don't even have to buy the book to take the morning routine challenge. That's there. But anyone who buys 2 or more books might be able to redeem a bonus. And for 2 books, we're actually giving away the digital planner, the 12-month planner, Good Morning, Good Life planner. So very, very excited about that. So don't miss out on that. Hi, Ms. Proverbs. Good to see you. All right, let me see where we are. Danielle said, okay, Amy, please tell me, do I read the daily from your book or the Daily Stoic first thing in the morning?
Oh.
You sneaky. Listen, there's room for so many daily books. And I will tell you right now that Ryan Holiday's The Daily Stoic is a huge reason why I was inspired to write this. I read that book every morning for 3 years. I got to the point where I highlighted and I wrote in it, and I started recapping the entry myself, rewriting it in my own words to make sure I understood it and like really took it away for the day. Stoicism is an amazing teaching that I think everyone should pick up. But it doesn't mean you can't have Good Morning, Good Life in your day too. Like, also, I really think they're both great. You could start the day with one, you could end the day with the other. I recommend that book entirely. I think Ryan's amazing.
Also, you can read 2 pages in one day.
Yes, you can read 2 pages in one day. I believe in you.
Yeah, our entries, there are short ones, there are long ones. You can do both.
I love it.
You can do hard things.
Oh, yes, you can do hard things. I just made a video about that today.
We
did a hard thing.
We wrote a book.
Do you know how hard this was? It was pretty hard.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to labor. Where did the book
I know. On a scale of 1 to labor? On a scale of 1 to labor.
On a scale of 1 to labor. Let's ask the hard-hitting question.
I don't know.
People want to know.
I don't know, because I feel like everyone's labor experiences.
Oh yeah. We don't want to turn that into this live stream.
Yeah, we don't want to talk
about
people
that.
Don't want to know. Everyone's is individual to them. Okay. Surveyed said, can't wait to read this. You've inspired me so much. Would love to clap. Oh, that's so nice. I love it. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Is it Charlara or Carlara? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. What book would you suggest for the identity crisis times of your 20s? Ooh, identity crisis in your 20s. Can you relate?
Finding Your North Star. That was a very good one that I liked a lot. Trying to also think. There were so many. I learned on a lot of books. Stumbling Upon Happiness, but I'm feeling so bad that I'm not remembering any of the authors. So
no, that's okay.
Also,
what was your identity crisis in your 20s?
What wasn't my identity crisis in my 20s? I
just like to get really specific.
I met you.
I know. It was a journey. It was a journey.
It started when we met.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the only way to read a book and get something out of it is, well, first of all, to pick the one that's right for you.
Yeah.
So I feel like my identity crisis in my 20s was trying to figure out my love life.
Fair.
It really was. Like, it was a lot of just like, who am I going to be with, and what does that person look like? And so I probably read more about that in my 20s. I also was starting my business too, so that was pretty heavy on the reading side for me. You've got to read something that's actually going to pique your interest. Just because something that I read changed my life, I will recommend it. I will tell people why that's the case. But if you read it and you're like, I am barely getting through this, and you don't feel good about it, it's just going to make you not want to read. And I feel like that's the biggest issue.
And I also think sometimes when you're really in your head, speaking from experience, part of me is wondering, will I hear Kevin laughing upstairs?
Okay.
Maybe, and I know this is the worst time to say don't go with like a memoir type book right now, but go with a story, someone else's story. I feel like I read a lot of memoirs in my 20s from like Princess Diana's, like just different things to learn about someone else's life to get out of your own head for a minute.
That's a good point.
So sometimes it helps to stop looking for the help and find someone else's narrative and try that on for size for a little bit. And then go back to the books, which is, again, why a daily reader is an easy ad, because you can do that while you're reading another book.
Yeah, totally. That is such a good point. And you know what I've been thinking about a lot lately? Do you read fiction a lot?
Yes.
So lately I've been thinking, like, why do I read so much nonfiction? It seems like every time I turn around, everyone's recommending fiction books, and it's like, try this, read this. And I've read a couple in the last number of years. But I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I feel like it really doesn't matter. It's like, how do you best receive a message?
Fair.
It could be in a fictional story. It could be in someone's real life memoir. It could be in a more instructional non-fiction book. And it's like, did you get the point?
Well, and to be fair, I go through spurts with fiction, right? Like, especially if I find a good trilogy. And again, it's what is it filling up at that time? Sometimes it is just straight escapism. But sometimes, to your point, like, I remember when I read The Hunger Games, and that's still, you still take away something from that.
Totally.
So I feel like you can find your answers. And sometimes if you're trying to force the answer and just like scrolling through books that feel like self-help, you could be trying to force it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Just like quit a book. If you don't like it, quit it.
On our launch book stream, we're going to tell you to quit a book up next.
But also, if you want to quit this book, don't worry. It's going to be different tomorrow. So
that's the thing. It's not Groundhog's Day. Every day is a new day with this book.
I know. What was the hardest part about writing a book with me?
I don't even know if I would say there was... No, I think we had to figure out the logistics of not being in the same place.
Yeah.
Because when we first started writing, you were in Italy.
Yeah.
And then
I was like, let's start writing a book.
Yeah.
I'm going to Italy for a month. Yep. Bye.
So, we had that whole time change situation. And then we leaned high on audio notes with that. But no, I wouldn't say, I think more than anything, it would be the distance. Because it was just figuring out those schedules. And then when, we were writing in evenings because I have a day job. So, I think it was figuring out when to write and when we could do those pieces.
Just like every time we would I don't want to keep saying but it was like continually this pivot of this is what we thought the book was going to be. And it would just evolve, especially over the amount of time. And one of the things I talked about, I recorded a video earlier and I was thinking something always happens when I sit down to write a book during the time I intended to write it that makes the book better, probably making it take longer, but makes the book better. And I think that our thing for this book was being pregnant.
100%.
Like what we intended at the beginning is how it started, and it continued to change the more you were already a parent at that point, but then becoming a mom of two after a pregnancy again and balancing having a baby while being pregnant. Or a baby, a little one. She's so grown.
She's pretty much off to college.
Anyway, but it just made it so much better. And so I feel like not being next to each other to continue to work through that evolution was definitely the hard part.
Which in some ways I think also became a pro, and this might be me silver lining it, but I think there were times, I'm just going to spin this around, because we had two very different lenses, right? We were both pregnant. However, I did have this toddler on my side, and, I was looking at it through one lens, you were looking at it through another. So some entries, I feel like we had a push-pull of what the takeaway in the entry would be, which then made it into 3 different entries. So I think, we'd both be working towards one day, have a little bit of a different lens on it, and then be like, okay, we're going to pull this paragraph. It's kind of like we had this whole map on the wall that didn't even exist, where it's like, that can go over here. And then again, the amazing team.
The team supported on that. That was huge.
And finesse and do all of that magic with us, figuring out how things would land and how they wouldn't. So no, I think... Was there a hard part? What was the hardest part about writing with me?
Honestly, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. That was it. Because, it is hard to co-write when we have our own ideas. The one easy thing is that it was very obvious to me who I would write this book with. First of all, because I said, if I asked, Tom Hanks was second place. You come first. Yeah. But I said to myself, I was like, I know Sarah's going to say yes. Is the question, does it make sense to write it together? The reason why it does is I feel like we don't always come to the same answers on things, but we really have a lot of the same methodologies, the same approach. And that's just because your answers are always going to change with what your life conditions are and your partner and your kids and your lifestyle. But our approach is always so similar to how we see things and conflict and friction in life and in every different way. We talk about 7 different things: mindset, career, wealth, health, relationships, spirituality, and legacy. And there were definitely a couple things where it was like, I feel like that's a good thing to write, but I don't know if I believe it totally, and working through that was important. But very rarely did that happen.
And sometimes it was just going back to the definitions too, right? Because those were the pillars in your in the first part of this book. But I had a little bit of a different definition. I feel like wealth was also something I grew up and it wasn't something we always talked about,
Right.
you know, and then getting more comfortable with that.
Right.
And so, like, I think we both had an evolutionary process as we were writing some of these, or what do we mean with health? Like, what does health encompass? Is health mental health? Is it physical health? Is it, you know, and as we would count through the entries, it's like we were going more one way than the other. And so I think, again, that's why a good plug would be to do this kind of in parallel with a friend, because some of the entries, I think you and I would even look at differently after writing them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And have different takeaways.
It's really crazy to read an entry you wrote 2 years ago.
Kevin McCain said something that's worrisome.
What do you say? When do we get the sequel? Oh my gosh, you need to just slow your roll, Mr.
You live
McCain.
with the sequel.
Yeah. I was very impressed with his Instagram caption.
Oh, Old Man McCain. Follow at Old Man McCain on Instagram because he's public, not him.
Is he really? Sarah's not even public on Instagram, so you can't even follow her. But you can follow her husband.
But yes, he did a beautiful post today, so I really appreciated that.
Would you care to recite it?
I have not memorized it yet.
Oh, I
but
think
give me a little
did.
more Jameson. We'll bring Kevin down to read it himself.
It
live
was like,
reading.
I'll tell you what it said, because I was like, that was a good caption. If you are not lucky enough to sleep or wake up next to Sarah McCain like I am, this is the next best thing.
Yes, if you would like to wake up to me on a daily basis in your mind, which now I know Kevin actually loves. I just read him a page in the morning.
Meg came up with our sequel name already.
Oh,
365/6 days later.
I love Meg.
Meg's got it. Meg can hang right there with you in the puns.
Oh yeah.
I have to Google puns, otherwise I don't, I'm not that good.
You have different people in your life for different reasons.
That's right. That's not the reason I'm in Sarah's life.
What other questions? I want other questions.
Yeah, good question. What are the questions? I think everyone's just kind of like cracking up over us.
Oh gosh. Everyone poured their own Pepsi
know.
Secco? What is this drink called?
Pepsecco.
Oh, hi Dad.
Hi Dad.
Brad the Rad Dad.
Oh, bartender.
Brad the Rad Dad made a Brontes reference.
Did he?
Ah.
Oh, I was wondering who you were talking to.
I was raised by Brad the Rad Dad.
That's great.
Oh, and Prue is actually making a rare appearance.
Is it rare?
She hates technology. She usually hides. Hi.
She's like, I feel like I need to be here for this.
Good girl.
Can I just have a glass of water? That'd be really nice.
Do you not like your drink?
No, I like it, but I just feel like I'm talking too much. You should really drink
take
water,
this.
folks. The reason we talked about... No, I'm going to
I want
drink
Kevin
that
to try it.
Pro.
Yeah, take a sip.
It's Pepsecco. Why is this...
No, it's Propecia.
No, it's...
Prosecco, Pepsi.
No, it isn't.
Propecia.
It's not good.
Okay, so listen behind the scenes,
I think it
crew.
needs to be made with champagne, so it's dry. Yeah, brute.
Husband, if you're going to have an opinion, then come over here.
This is Prue.
Come here. All right, let's bring our partners in crime here.
I've got my partner in crime. Her name's Prudence.
Okay, we asked them to check on us, but not necessarily to join the stream. But
the support behind the book.
They call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
What?
Who he looks like?
Don't do any inside jokes on my channel.
How is that an inside joke?
Oh my gosh.
It's a Queen reference.
Oh, see, she didn't even know who you looked like. She was like,
no, but once Freddie Mercury.
She knew exactly what I was talking about.
Freddie Mercury.
Go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Why do you have a mustache?
Oh, we mustache you.
Why not? Why not? Kevin, I say why not?
Bring it back.
No.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I think you should.
I want to be like you.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I think the mustache is a good look.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. Oh, Prue wants the Pepsecco.
Anyway, that's a big advertisement for that.
The Pepsecco.
If a dog wants to drink it.
You guys are such
Come on, Tom Hanks and my dog love the
that
Pepsecco.
bad?
It's not.
It's not good.
It really goes
not good.
well together.
Not good.
No, I disagree. I think it's a good little pick
okay.
me up.
I think it needs to be a brute. It needs to be a dry.
Do you think? It is maybe a little sweet. It's a little sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Freddie Mercury with the Formula One.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury.
What can we get?
Thank you,
That's what we
Marcus.
came down to.
I feel like
help
I
celebrate.
asked for a water, but I got 2 more co-hosts, so.
And I'm missing. I think we need more Dave Matthews.
Oh, that I can help you.
No, please don't. That would be great.
Come on, Kevin. Let's
no
go
copyright.
crash
Yeah.
into.
Oh my gosh. You guys gotta go.
We're all just living under a dreaming tree.
This is not a pun channel. You guys.
Hey, congratulations to our
Yay.
wives.
Thank you.
Lovely job.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
I can't believe you get to see this live either from Australia. I am so happy that you get.
What time is it there?
Oh, Carrie. Hi,
It's-
Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
12 hours
Hi,
ahead.
Carrie.
So it is, I don't know, 8:37 in the
We
morning.
still don't know when the next
Wednesday
leap year
morning.
is. So it's fine. Inquiring minds want to know.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you for your post.
Good
Thank
job.
you to the husbands.
Thank you, husbands.
Definitely our first team thank you goes to the husbands who
Oh.
supported us through all the writing.
And who got
10:07.
Pregnant
10:07.
women writing
It's
books.
10:07. So it's
10:07.
it's
It's not 12 hours.
14 hours
There
ahead.
you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
The math don't lie.
Oh no, it's 14 and a half hours.
Oh my.
No, it's 13 and a half
Okay,
hours ahead.
okay.
Anyway.
Have a great night. Have
We'll
a
go figure
great
this out.
night, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. Are you bringing her water?
Water.
Please.
No, you didn't want to take the Pepsi-Co?
Oh, I'll come back for that.
No,
You're right.
yeah,
You're
come
right.
back for
You're
it.
right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
They're haters.
Yeah.
No, you too.
I
You're
think
a hater.
the majority rule of that vote was a no on that.
You know, I'm sorry. Where are the babies? Let me tell you something,
Asleep.
Autumn. The babies are asleep,
Asleep.
and we are blessed. I did have a hard time leaving tonight because I was like, I have to go to Sarah's. I'm sorry,
I
Bianca.
get to go to Sarah.
Usually it's I get to go to Sarah's, but I get to go to Sarah's after bedtime.
Yes,
but I was
yes.
like, I had to skip bedtime tonight, and I don't enjoy doing that because bedtime is really sacred ritual. But I'm taking tomorrow off, and
But
I
you
told
made
her,
your goddaughter's night because you got to see her
did, and she
at
gave me a
bedtime. Grace gave you
hug.
huggies and
She gave
kisses.
me a- I
But
love
then
that.
Grace and Roy are also asleep.
I love that. Thank you so much, Bimina, for the
what is
congrats.
Pepsi-Co? You
Bumblebee,
don't
we're just
wanna
gonna have
know.
to let you watch the replay because everyone's hating on my Pepsi-Co. And
Or
so
just
it's
call Tom
not a thing.
Hanks. I think he was.
Tom
onto
Hanks
it.
isn't gonna know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because Tom Hanks uses Diet Coke, which is probably a better
he uses
product.
Coke. Actually, I don't even think he's a diet lover.
Yeah, listen.
Anyway, okay, so to continue on with the team thank yous, other than, of course, my co-author, who's fabulous, amazing, and an awesome writer, and I'm so pleased and grateful. that you wrote
Okay,
with
we
me.
don't
Oh,
do
that's all
compliments.
I need.
Thank
There
you.
were so many more people that helped with this. First of all, the Gatlu
yes,
team.
Yes.
Audrey Morabito, you're amazing. Thank you so much for co-writing on this.
You
We
were
got-
truly a godsend.
Yes, she really helped us with the organization of all the entries and making sure that all of our words made sense, quite frankly.
And sanity. There were definitely times,
Lots
especially with
of
the time
sanity
difference when you were in
moments.
Italy, I would pulse in with her and like she was amazing. You are an
Yes.
amazing human.
Yes. Hannah Kahn, my chief of staff, an incredible human being, a lovely woman, and she really kept the team going on the whole thing. She really made sure, thank you so much. She really made sure that we were moving this little train forward all the time and just getting all the entries done, getting our stuff to Audrey and just continuing to keep the circle going and make
Coordinating
sure it got
our
edited.
meetings, magical
coordinate everything.
brains, scheduling magic.
Checking in with all the other vendors on it. I mean, like Hannah was a key cog there. Kylie Lovesey,
Yes.
amazing designer. She really just owned the visual design of the paperback. So that was instrumental. And never have I had somebody on staff that could do that for me. So that was awesome and just truly a needle mover for this book because the paperback is really that thing that you relate to the most, obviously. Of course, now I'm using it for a computer tripod, which is hilarious. But
what you can do with this book is amazing.
I know. So that was amazing, and just I appreciate her so much for that. There were a lot more people. 99 Designs is a partner I've had for a really long time. They were instrumental in the visual design for the ebook. And if not for 99 Designs, I don't know how elegantly we would have gotten that done. Something as simple as a page-a-day book and a paperback is not that simple in ebooks. So really appreciate their design team so much. And thank you 99 Designs for being a partner.
Would you say you have 99 problems but a design ain't one?
That's 100% what I would
That's what I
say.
would say.
And I think that's going to be our new commercial for them.
I think they should know that.
I need you on staff for this kind
Thank you.
Nancy Alvarado, thank you so much for your incredible cover design of the book. She worked with us tirelessly to make sure this was perfect. You have no idea how many colors we went back and forth on this. Should it be white like the first book? Should it not? And we went with this like nightscape that I think really elegantly articulates your night starts. Your morning starts the night before.
Where you
Is what
going
I was
with
trying
this?
to say.
Yeah.
Your morning starts the night before, and I just thought it's like a subtle way of saying that, which I love. I love something very subtle.
And do I know who
Nancy
you're
Carson.
thanking next? Because I want to say Emma.
I think you should say Emma.
Because I'm just saying, I love Emma.
Yeah, me too.
Emma, 2 great headshots in the back of the book. One gorgeous. Oh,
that's you.
Gorgeous.
See how I did that?
Literally. Emma is amazing. She's a rock star. We love Emma so much. She's a good friend, too. And we both didn't realize we were both using Emma photos, too.
I knew.
You knew you were. But and then, Emma was taking my family photos. And I was like, I think I need a headshot. And right then my son spit up in my hand and my daughter ran away from us. And so in that, she took 2 photos and one cropped out is my hand holding spit up. So Emma is a magician and I really appreciate it. So
and I made sure it got cropped in just the right spot.
Just that nice little spit up
just
hold.
That elegant, like we don't want any more than this.
But I'm calm, cool, and collected. So thank you,
Emma. Thank you so much for being our go-to favorite photographer. You're amazing. And also, she took Bianca's first birthday photos. So I think those are sitting in my email. I get to go look at those soon. Okay, so there's a million other people that we could thank, but that was like the core team.
Emma's even on here.
I know.
Emma. Emma, come on over for some Pepsi and whatever.
Stop hating.
Sorry.
The haterade in this place.
Okay.
Bumblebee asked a good question that I get a lot.
Okay.
Has your morning routine changed since having kids?
Yes. I mean, I know. I want to know your answer actually first because I know my answer.
Yeah. Okay.
And you
I also know my answer.
Well, you had a different. I feel like this was one of those things during my pregnancy that I thought a lot about Amy because obviously we're writing this book, but also I was like, what will happen? Because I was like, I've had one of these tiny humans. I know what they will do to my routine. So I'm curious, what was the biggest surprise for you?
Honestly, it wasn't a surprise at all, and I'll tell you why. I had a cheater method, which is have a YouTube channel all about morning routines and talk about it all the time so that the parents will comment and say, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Go on.
You just wait till you have kids and find out. Now, that was actually probably, I didn't take it personally. At first I was like, this is interesting, but I didn't take it personally. I was like, there's some, I need to understand where this is coming from.
Yeah.
I need to get where this feeling is and why people feel this way. What ended up happening ultimately is, of course, my routine changed. Like, of course, I am in charge of an entire additional human. You are in charge of 2 more. And of course we have partners who support us and that's all, but that's all new.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
No,
I was like, I'm in charge of his routine too.
Thank goodness they have us. No, genuinely, like that's a huge piece of it. But even the dynamic of having support with a partner, that's a change. Because my morning routine before didn't have a lot to do with my partner.
Yeah.
Like what I was doing in the morning was truly just for me. So I went from a 1-person routine to like a 3-person routine.
Literally overnight.
And it's like, how do we work together? How do you ask for the help you need? How do you say, this is my boundary and this is what I'm doing?
Yeah.
That's a whole thing. And so prior to becoming a parent, I got a lot of experience practicing flexing boundaries and setting them and using them. And so with that practice, you have to learn to use them. Having a baby only made me realize that I had to put into practice all of the rounds I got in before.
Yeah.
It's like, this is where the stakes are actually higher and you need to learn how to ask for help. You need to go to bed at a certain hour. You need to do this, you need to do that in order for you to achieve what you'd like to achieve. And for me, it's just a little bit of time alone, just this much.
Yeah.
And if I need to make that happen now with a 3-person routine instead of a 1-person routine, what do I have to do to make that happen? So it changed, yes, but I'm just taking all the training I feel like I put myself through prior to and applying it in a new scenario.
That's fair.
It doesn't make it easy. Like it's
no,
so hard.
But I think it's like any routine, and it's like what we were saying earlier. Whether you have kids or you don't, your routine is going to ebb and flow with your life, you know, and it's just figuring out what that looks like. I was just looking at the comments waiting for my father to make a comment about me going to bed earlier. But I do think for me, it was coming back to, I had to revisit my nighttime routine because since I had done this before, I already was getting up early. My morning routine had changed with now a 3-year-old. But yeah, it was more circumventing that evening hour for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a dichotomy. It's not something you solve for once and it's all set.
Right.
A baby gets sick, even if they sleep through the night, they'll wake up and then it's like, okay, I didn't get the sleep I was supposed to get. And of course, Bianca ended up being sick last night and today. I'm like, book launch day, girl. Really? Way to steal the spotlight.
She had some opinions.
Really?
She did.
But that's it. And I think we all want the quick, easy answer to things. And you're never going to get that. And someone else's life is never going to look like yours. And you have to be able to say, like, I'm in the driver's seat. This is my life. I get to make the call. I turn the turn signals on when I need them. I stop when I need to. And I'm going to keep going forward in the best way that I can, the safest way that I can, and take care of myself and everyone involved.
And again, sometimes it's giving yourself permission to just try it on for size.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the greatest things my mom ever taught me, is she always said, like, and I remember this specifically around choosing a college, it's like, for one day, you have to tell yourself for that entire day, this is what we're doing, this is what's going to happen, this is what it's going to feel like. And then if it goes off the rails and it does not work, you stick to it for that full day.
Yeah.
And then the next day you can reset, and the next day you can reset, and whatever that needs to look like. And so I think this book also gives you permission to try those different hats on.
I think the other thing to think about is, because the follow-up question from Bumblebee is, how did you shift things around for a kid? This also did not happen day one. It wasn't like, hey guys, just had a baby and now I'm going to start my brand new morning routine. Like, that is absolutely not what happened.
Yeah.
There is a season of all hands on deck that you just need to do that. And so I would say that at least, and man, this was good perspective, at least 6 months.
Of what? Asking for help?
Of having a baby.
Yeah.
That was like, things are not going to be right. Things are not going to be the same. Things are literally just make sure this thing keeps breathing and stays alive. And you're going to be able to get somewhere after that. And the little ones you can save for yourself throughout that time is great.
Yeah.
But in the early days, they're eating every 2 to 3 hours. Like, what are you supposed to do? Expect to wake up a little earlier and it's not going to happen. So respect for the season and respect for where you're at and where you're going.
Well, I think one of the things I told you was, don't even try to have a routine for those first like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever that looks like.
Because I didn't do it for 6 months.
Every child is different. Every energy is different. And like, you don't know if it's a good evening or a good morning. It's like, there's no sense of time. So I was like, and this was something my husband and I talked about all the time. It's like, okay, well, when is there going to be a schedule? When is there going to be a routine? And it's like, until a certain point, we're just in survival mode.
Yeah. And you do the best you can until then. But the other thing I would add, and I said this before I ever had any pregnancy on the horizon, before we were even trying, to be honest, my advice always was, and I'm really happy that I'm pretty on the money with it, is why don't you show your kids what you do in the morning to start the day on your terms?
Yeah.
So it's not about like compartmentalizing them all the time. Like, let me just stick my kid in another room. Let me make sure they get off to daycare and then I'll have my morning routine. Maybe that's the right thing for you, but it could also be that we can teach these skills earlier. And I continue to be reminded of the fact that I said that before every time I do something new. I took Bianca to the dentist and they were like, wow, this is early. A lot of parents don't come in this early. We're so grateful you did. And I'm like, cool. Is there anything for you to do at 9 months to clean their teeth? And they're like, no, not much. But just bringing her gets her comfortable here, makes her feel like it's normal, and gets her to take better care of herself. And this is such a testament to just teach the skills you want to have to your kids. They're not all going to pick it up. All kids are different and it's not going to go swimmingly. But if you can show to tell what you want to do for yourself to take care of yourself, you can show them that they can do the same thing.
And they do pick some things up. Because
I hope so.
Grace now helps make my morning coffee. It's
well,
quite impressive.
My kid already wants a smartphone, so they should probably be picking up more than just that habit.
It's fair.
Gosh, it's scary.
No, but it starts I found new appreciation for my mornings since having kids, because there is that moment where it's stressful, but then it's mornings, and I was just saying this to Kevin the other day, are my favorite time. They were on maternity leave with Grace. They continue to be 3 years later, because we do genuinely do our best to like bring the kids down to the kitchen. We all make breakfast together. I ask her what she dreamed about. Like, it doesn't have to be that rushed mode.
Yeah.
And it can be whatever you make of it. It's just then realizing like you do get to control the time. You know?
You do. And you also have no control.
Oh yeah. And then there are days where
it's just going to balance itself out.
The kid asks you for waffles and you give them waffles, and that was wrong. And I don't know why I gave her waffles. So it doesn't.
We have our moments where we are weak.
Yeah.
And we just have to reflect on it, Sarah. It's okay.
Should have done that.
Okay, I want to see emojis in the chat if you've already bought a copy of the book. I would love to see that. I want to see who's in here ready to start the day on their terms with just a page a day in the new book.
They want an entry from the book.
365 Days of Good Morning Good Life. Oh.
Ooh, let's do a pop quiz. I'm going to ask you, what's on this day? Pop quiz.
Don't ask me.
All right, let's go.
Ask me about my birthday, because I could tell you what happens on my birthday.
Well, no, then I'm not going to give you that one. I'm going to give you October 28th.
Okay.
What was it? Go.
This is a terrible game. Don't play games with your best friend.
Okay. Started with, your mind is a sacred space all to yourself.
Okay.
Next line, go.
I don't know.
Sorry. Okay. Empower your mind by prioritizing your own original ideas before others. That's the main theme. So I guess we could slow down and also share the breakdown of the pages.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Or do you need to get your own copy of the book?
Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's, again, if you are having one of those crazy mornings where you stupidly gave your toddler waffles when they asked for waffles and then you don't have time to actually read a full entry,
learn from Sarah.
I do think, do not make that mistake, and that is on you. But I think that's the other thing about this is you will see on these, you have a short little kind of snippet, I'll call it, at the top. And then that is the theme that you will find within the pages. But say you really only have a second, because sometimes it's like, I can't even give it right now. Literally, October 27th is 3 words in the snippet. So you can literally read those. I'm not going to tell you what they are because you should buy a copy.
Yeah.
What is October 27th?
We can give away 3 words. I'm not. Oh, she's not. Sorry, guys. I tried to be nice.
I'm not going to tell you. Okay. Find your light. I just can't keep it. I can't withhold that cliffhanger. But you could read that and then come back to it later. Or you could sit with that and be like, okay, how do I interpret that?
Yeah, just take what you need.
See if what we said is the real deal.
Yeah.
So I don't want to read too many
I think it is. I think it is the real deal.
Is it?
I think it is the real deal. Thank you so much. Bamina, thank you so much for buying the book. Rachel, thank you. Julie, I appreciate you so much. Maria, Emma in the house, thank you. You're so sweet to support us. Serena, thank you. Andrea's pissed because you were so close to reading her birthday, but you were one day off. Emma, thank you so much.
Find Your Light on October 27th, or is hers the 29th? Sorry.
It's the 29th.
Sorry.
Yeah, you must have.
Almost a Halloween birthday. That's fun.
Yeah. Oh, it is fun. I bet that is festive.
I would like that.
Okay.
I don't like my birthday, but I would like that. Can I have your birthday?
All right. You guys, this was Sarah's first book. How are you feeling about it?
Also my first live stream.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
I think, because we made the gingerbread houses was not a live stream.
You guys, you missed out.
If you have not watched a gingerbread, I don't want to say we made them because mine never stood up.
No.
But I don't want to say we didn't try.
That's right.
And
I did an amazing job, and it was my first gingerbread house ever.
And she was really humble about it, so
I broke it for you.
Watch. Yes, I did not break it. I stand by that. So yes. Do we have other questions?
No, we're wrapping up because I'm asking you a question about how you feel about your first book.
There are a lot of words.
There are a lot of words.
I have no
I've
words
heard it's
left.
heavy a few times.
I have no words left.
Have you thought in this process?
Yes.
Have you thought about your second book?
Oh, geez. A little. But I also, since being postpartum with my daughter and the joys of the start of COVID, I've always wanted to do a children's book.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what was like
that was more bouncing around.
I love that.
I'd started writing that
Good.
more than anything.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You guys, go and just like request to follow Sarah on Instagram. She's not going to let you.
No, I sometimes do. It's very random. I actually sometimes
Where could they just be like, write the children's book on her LinkedIn maybe? They could do that.
If you look nice and not...
If you just email me, I will deliver the message.
Yes.
Like, write the children's book. I'm excited for your first.
Just follow Old Man McCain.
Yep, just follow her husband. It actually would be really interesting if you did that.
Yeah. He's
a
way
lot
more
of Dave Matthews, like, but he posts what, once a year?
He tends to only post blurry photos of me because he
Oh,
finds
right.
he likes to troll me, or an obsessive Dave Matthews. So if you any of those,
Yeah.
yeah,
we love that. What a
Yes.
great husband.
yes. Mm-hmm. No, but literally, I feel like that's the question I had for you, and I did see someone else ask a question.
Okay.
But what was the thing that surprised you most when this book came? Like, was there any feeling you felt with this book? Because again, I could not have picked a better co-author. I am genuinely so grateful that you asked me. And I also feel like you kept us treading water constantly and helped challenge and think in new ways. So I really appreciate you for that. But like, what's a feeling you didn't expect with this book? Like, I know we've had the excited feelings together. We've had some amazing cocktails. But what's something you didn't see coming?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't really explain it. I feel like with a book, it's very exciting at the beginning, and then you go through a period of this is so challenging. This is so challenging. And then when it comes out, you're just so relieved. But this time, instead of just being relieved, I was really like re-energized like when we started planning the book.
Yeah.
And that was surprising for me because I was like thinking this has been such a long time coming. I just wanted it out because I just wanted people to experience it. But now I don't just want it out. I'm really sitting in the success of the fact that it's done. And that's a nice feeling to have back, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a good feeling because it keeps going.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that people can interpret things differently. Heck, I might even make mine a public profile to hear what people think of the book.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
Hot off the presses.
Be careful.
I know. Unless it's like that
Once
time.
you go public, you can always
like
go
that
back
time we went to Scotland and you went back to the hotel and I was hanging out with my friend and someone came over to me and they're like, "You're here with Amy Landino," and I was like,
"Oh my gosh, good
no,"
times.
or Amy Schmidtauer at the time. And
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I came back to the hotel. I was like, "We have to leave. I no longer feel safe."
That was an epic trip. Actually, do you know what I was gonna say?
That was our first book.
It was.
Yeah.
It truly was. Inside joke. I was gonna say on your husband's Instagram, I also have slept with Sarah, so I can testify to this. Listen. Long story. I figured I shouldn't have said that on the Instagram, but instead I said it on my stream. So there you have it. Mm-hmm. It was really not supposed to happen that way. But
long ago and far away, we shared a bed in the hotel.
Not because we wanted to.
Our first trip together. Our first trip before we were officially best friends, so it was a learning curve. And this was after Amy had to wash shampoo out of my hair because the water went out in the hotel. It was a very quick bonding moment. But yeah, you got to wake up to me.
To say it was quick, yeah. I was like, why am I doing this? I don't want to be doing this.
Hi, we've just been on a very long flight. I thought taking a shower was a good idea after said flight. And now I have a lot of soap in my hair and you have a speaking engagement. And yeah. I also broke your hairdryer.
Yeah, but also I shouldn't have brought that hairdryer because, of course, that was a really fun trip. And by the way, you just said we weren't best friends before that. Is that because we needed to make sure we could travel together?
Yeah,
I do agree with that assessment.
Like, I wasn't going to go into
that
trip.
It's like we may have been calling each other best friends by then.
No, I don't think we were.
Maybe we weren't.
I don't think we were. You also picked me up for the airport and asked me if I'd seen Liam Neeson's movie Taken. So I had said yes to the trip, which a theme here. I clearly say yes when Amy asks me to do things. But then when she's driving you to an airport and says, "Have you seen Taken?" I don't know what trip I signed up for.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
If you haven't seen that movie, it's a great movie. But also, I just wanted to know if you saw it. You have to be fully prepared when we're traveling as women abroad.
Yes. Yep. I didn't watch it in prep for the trip. I have seen it.
Yeah. You just got to know.
But yes, I would say that trip cemented our friendship.
Well, now we know. I'm glad I
know how to travel. We know how to write a book. We know how to say no to drinks that are terrible. We just know all the things.
And we know how to like what we like, even if nobody agrees with us.
And you know what else we know?
What?
To go after the life we want.
Yes, we do! Yes! You guys, I have to go because it has been the longest launch day ever, but I'm so excited that we got to close it out here on the YouTube channel, my favorite place in the whole world, next to my favorite person, or one of my favorite people. I'm sorry, I can't give you that, but you are my best friend.
Could I be like favorite person?
Favorite person named Sarah.
Not related to you. We can put some categories in.
Yeah, not related or married to me.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty much best friend, right? Exactly. It's the family
Perfect.
you choose. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy the book, and I hope that you gift it to all of your wonderful people in your life who you want to give good things to. And it's all linked in the description below. Make sure you check out the bonuses if you buy more than one. I don't want you to miss out. And
your morning can start tomorrow.
Yeah. It can start right now if you buy the Kindle.
Or if you're in a different time zone, it's already morning.
Yeah. Whenever your morning starts, that's up to you.
We appreciate you, and we are very, 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 very grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys have an amazing night. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we have to do the thing I always say. Okay?
Okay.
That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Please remember to subscribe for good vibes. Kiss the ones you love. Mwah!
I knew that one was coming.
And go after the life you want. Cheers.
Oh, yep, those are both yours. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.